All right, what is up, everybody? Divine Hood here, coming at you with another daily update on Bitcoin and the crypto markets. All right, guys, so over the weekend, we expected a range to continue, a possible distribution pattern, but a range to continue in this micro range that we were seeing over the weekend. We know that over the weekends, not a lot happens. Now, we did get a pump up Sunday afternoon, which oftentimes in certain parts of the world, that's kind of Monday morning open for some Asian, European countries, I guess you could say. But we did have a bit of a pump up. We took out our highs, which we were expecting. If you guys remember my live stream that I talked about on Thursday, we were looking for a potential, or actually it was Friday, excuse me, Friday. We were looking for a potential distribution like pattern happening where we did come up one more time to grab those highs and for a tap two of a possible distribution pattern up in this area around the macro value area high. We did get that one more push up, a new high. And we did, after taking that new high, we did drop all the way back down overnight to our pitchfork midline. Now you can see here our pitchfork midline. This pitchfork has been really well respected. Every time we're coming up, we flip. This was the bottom of the pitchfork. We kind of chopped around the bottom for a bit, pumped up above the band, the lower band, held the lower band as support, pumped up through the midline. Now we are holding the midline as support. And every time we come down to this pitchfork midline, we are holding it as support and we are seeing buying pressure come in and pushing us from the lows of our range to the highs of our range. So this morning, we were first of all, we were dumping overnight after taking the highs. We continued to dump overnight, hit the pitchfork midline, bounced from the pitchfork midline, saw another retest of that pitchfork midline. Now, I do want to talk about this locally. We did hit the 886 here. So there is a little bit more of a probability to come take out these lows from a Sunday night. But we are holding the midline and we are pushing up from the midline. Now, I took a long from this second tap of the midline this morning during New York Open, and I will explain why in just a second, but we are pushing up. If we pull our volume profile of this range that we've been in now since last Thursday, you can see we are breaking above the value area high of that range, which is around 104,450-ish, at least on Coinbase. And we were pretty much bouncing from the value area low of the range. So breaking up, breaking above. Now, as far as that long position goes that I talked about, let's go ahead and dive into our CVD here and open interest. Let me just grab this on the charts here. Okay, as we were coming down to that pitchfork midline, knowing that that pitchfork midline was historically locally in this range acting as a support level and seeing many times getting bounces near the value area low, which is where that pitchfork midline was, we were coming down to our range lows. We did see some bullish absorption, some pretty strong bullish absorption happening on the charts, which is the main reason why I ended up taking that long position from that pitchfork midline. I saw that it was holding on lower time frames. We were just holding above it, developing some bull dips on Market Cipher and on NAMI. And you can see here on our CVD and open interest, we were making higher lows in the price action, lower lows in our CVD, and higher lows in our open interest. So we were seeing bullish absorption at our key pitchfork midline. At our key pitchfork midline that we saw in this general area right here, gave me the signal to look for long position. If we zoom in on lower time frames, let's go on the 6-minute time frame. Yeah, okay, where was it? It was on now NAMI was showing some bull divs coming down into that area. Money flow did not look the best. But if we go on to much lower time frames here, yeah, this is what it was. Okay, so you could see as we were coming down into that low, we were developing bull divs on the chart and money flow was bottomed out and kind of rising to the upside. Also, NAMI was showing those bull divs and money flow rising to the upside. So with that, it was a little bit, you only had low time frame confirmations to get in, but the big confirmation to get in on that long was the bullish absorption we were seeing on the charts. And anytime you see bullish absorption on a level that is historically held, being that pitchfork midline, that is going to give me enough signal to at least attempt a long. Now, my long position, I did not set my stop all the way below these range lows down here. I actually set my stop down below this low. So if we did break the midline, really if we broke the midline, I was going to probably close it out pretty quickly because I was watching it manually. But we are continuing to push up. Now, from this push up that we're seeing, I am looking at a potential, the 786 up here as a rejection area. I did TP1 at our golden pocket because our golden pocket, if we just look at that golden pocket from the highs of Sunday to the lows of Sunday, let's turn on that golden pocket. You can see that golden pocket was pretty much in alignment with the value area high. So as we came up to that area, I TP'd 50% of the trade. My stop is now at break even, so it's a risk-free trade. I still do have that trade open, and I'm looking for potential rejection from the 786 just based off of some lower time frame impulsive stuff that we're seeing. Not so sure it's going to play out though, because our market cipher looks pretty good here. Now you can see Nami here is creating those bear divs as we are coming up in this rising channel that we are seeing right now, very, very locally rising channel. Bear divs are forming on the chart, and also on Nami, we are seeing bearish money flow divergence as well. Let me actually draw that better right there. Bearish money flow divergence on the charts. We are developing this sort of rising wedge type pattern, but we are about to hit the 886 right now. So let's see what happens here. Here we go. This that kind of rising wedge that we're seeing. And I do think that we could see a bit of a rejection from that 886 or from that 786, excuse me. Just above that is the daily level. It's a new daily level that we have on the chart. So I'll also be watching for a rejection from that area. If we look at the 886, it's pretty much right at that daily. And if we reject from the 886, I mean, it just makes sense that we continue ranging. We'll have a local 886 touch to take out this high. We also have a local 886 touch to take out, excuse me, this low. But range type price action is what we expected. And if we are going to see some sort of distribution in this area, then we do want to see a range form for a bit to allow for that distribution process to play out. So Bitcoin overall is still showing strength. We are not losing any momentum. We are making higher highs and higher lows on the chart, even pretty locally here, even on the hourly chart. You know, we're not losing this midline. And until we lose this midline, I do think that we could potentially not only come up to this daily at 106.5-ish, but we could break the all-time highs. And look at our next major level. Our all-time high is up at 109.358 on Coinbase. If we come up here and hit into this pitchfork band, this is the next major level. Remember, we broke the lower band to the upside, flipped it to support. We broke the midline, flipping it to support as we speak over the last few days. So now we could come up to the upper band of that same pitchfork and even maybe come up to 110 or 111. This is a smaller pitchfork that I'm watching. I do have another pitchfork on my larger charts, and the next major level is around that same value area high, but the top of the band is really what I'm interested in, around 113.5 to 113. If we break out of the all-time highs and do not SFP the all-time highs, I'll be looking around 113.5 to look for a potential short opportunity. But we do have to be careful because we could see a breakout and continuation to the upside. If we look at on the hourly chart, market cipher B, we were developing, first of all, bear divs coming into Sunday's highs. Bear divs here. Money flow was kind of looking good, so that was a little tricky to get into. But overall, on the hourly chart, look at our money flow, and your money flow will always overpower bear divs. And so our money flow looks really strong. On NAMI, on the hourly, our money flow looks really strong. And this is why I'm not so sure that this 786 tap that we're hitting as we speak is going to play out. But I will be looking for a rejection from here. So let's go. Not quite hit it yet. Let's see. Actually, I'm interested in this because if we are seeing lower time frame bear divs, okay, money flow looks pretty bad here on the 12-minute or 6-minute chart, excuse me, and we are developing some bear divs coming into that. And if we reject, we'll have more regional bear divs on the 6-minute as well, with money flow not looking the best, but it is in the green again. You can see down here, it just flipped back into the green. Let's see if this 786 does give us a rejection. If it doesn't, daily 886 is the next local level. But honestly, I do think Bitcoin will continue to pump. All right. Now, as far as liquidation goes, over the weekend on Sunday, we did finally come out and take the liquidation on the highs above us around that 105, 106 area that we were looking at, that liquidation above us on Friday's live stream. So took out all of our liquidity above us, and that's when we saw that bit of a drop overnight on Sunday and throughout till New York Open this morning. If we go on our Model 2 heat map, we do have some liquidity very, very locally just from from shorters that we're shorting today just above us around that daily, around 1066, 106, yeah, 1066. And that daily is around 1065. So a wick up to grab that liquidity and then close below the daily could be a decent short position if we are seeing continued bearish signals on the chart. We might get that during the stream, or during the video, I should say. Okay, and then let's zoom out a bit more. Let's actually go to Bybit first. Where's it at? Here we go. And let's zoom out. First of all, on Bybit, you can see there's a lot more liquidity below us, near the range lows. But let's zoom out on the past week, and let's just look at this week's range that we've been building since last Thursday. So you can see we did take out a majority of the liquidity above us. Now below us, at around that 101K, is where the majority of the local liquidity is below us. So that will act as a magnet. If we do reject from the 786 right now, or do reject from the daily, then we could push down to take all that liquidity around $101K, which is right, below these lows and pretty much below these lows as well. So this is what I'm watching for on Bitcoin right now. Not too much else to cover, guys. We just ranged all weekend long. Didn't really need to make a video over the weekend because we did nothing. And if we pull this volume profile, we are above the value area high. If we do reject from the daily and re-enter back within this value area, we can expect to fill the value area down to the value area low, or even sweep the range lows. But overall, money flow looks strong. If we do zoom out onto the 4-hour chart, you can see we are potentially developing some more bear divs. Now, on the 4-hour chart, you can see from these highs, we do have bear divs here from this high to this high, bear divs, but our money flow overall was looking pretty strong. So you want to wait for another drive of bear divs to come in order to see that play out. Well, locally, we could be developing some 4-hour bear divs more locally, but we have to take out the high to see that. So if we take out Sunday's highs, which is a weekend high, we do have to remember weekend highs get taken out quite a bit. If we SFP the weekend high, we could see the bear div on the chart. So we would have more regional 4-hour bear divs plus local 4-hour bear divs, plus our money flow overall draining out of the asset. NAMI also is showing bear divs right now, potential bear divs on the chart. Money flow does look to kind of be topping out here on NAMI. And we'll just watch. We'll just watch and see. There is a real potential for Bitcoin to continue to break out the break above the all-time high. So I'm not going to be shorting unless I see that signal. And as far as our 8-hour chart, potential multiple drives of 8-hour bear div building. So this is what I'm worried about with a potential distribution pattern. You can see just from our April 23rd lows, 22nd lows, multiple drives of bear div on the 8-hour chart are building, and our money flow on the 8-hour has been draining for over a week now. And so this is giving me a bit of a, are we going to come up and SFP the highs into this band and see a dump there? Are we going to see a distribution before that from our larger range value area high? It's just, if we do, okay, so what I'm going to say right now is pretty important. If we do, the value area high of the range is around 105,400, 105,437 on Coinbase. If we do come up, take out the all-time high into this band, reject, and start to fall back within our volume profile, we could see that much bigger dump. So we have to watch out, because what could happen, the two scenarios that we really need to pay attention to is we break out, we break above the all-time high, maybe SFP that all-time high, come down to the value area high, which was acting as resistance for, a few days now, and we hold it and flip it to support, well, then Bitcoin's going to continue probably up to that 113.5. If we SFP the all-time high and start to fall back within our volume profile and backtest it as resistance, we could probably see a much larger drop, maybe even down to 97K, where that range point of control is. So this is what I'm going to be watching on the charts over the next, days, hours with Bitcoin. And it is looking overall pretty strong still. Until we see that real sign of weakness, we do have to expect that the trend will continue. And you can see this midline is holding us. So the trend is continuing, and we're breaking the 786 actually as we speak. No reaction at that 786. seeing the push up into the daily. I just want to watch this real quick here. Are we going to see a rejection from this daily? Money flow looks really good on the 12-minute. I think we're going to keep pumping here, guys. I do think Bitcoin's going to keep pumping. I don't see enough signals on the chart to get the short in right now. 3-minute money flow looks strong on NAMI and on Market Cipher. Yeah, we could see a bit of a breakout here. Now, we did just close our daily candle 18 minutes ago, and we could be seeing a fake pump before a dump. But look at even 1-minute money flow looks strong. I think that we are about to see some pretty big breakouts on Bitcoin and on some of the other coins here. So let's just kind of watch this for a second, see how this plays out. Yeah, I think we're about to see a bit of a breakout. Let's also pay attention to the SFP of the weekend highs. We often know that weekend highs get taken out. Starting to break that daily. Let's see, are we seeing a bit of a short squeeze? Let me refresh this. Yeah, we're seeing a bit of a short squeeze happen right now, guys. We had a lot of people shorting in this last few hours. A lot of people were shorting this golden pocket that was hit earlier today. And you can see just in this rising wedge that we were just seeing up here, a lot of people were kind of shorting. And now those shorters are starting to get squeezed out. So we do have to be careful because with short squeezes, if you do not have new money come in to support that short squeeze, oftentimes you can fall right back down on the short squeeze. But this short squeeze could continue, to up to that, take out our weekend highs as well, which looks like this is the case. Yep, I think Bitcoin is going to continue here. Let's zoom in onto the 1 minute again. Let me zoom out to the daily and see how our new daily, yeah, money flow coming back up on the daily now that we have printed a new daily candle. Green dot from what was that? Sunday, from Sunday. This could come up a bit more, guys. This could come up a bit more. Let's just kind of monitor this. I am making a video right now, so I might not catch this trade if we do start to reject from this daily, but I don't see enough confirmations on the chart to short this daily. So if we do reject from the daily, I'll just miss out on this. I'm still long from earlier, so I'm good. Okay, let's go on to Ethereum. Now, Ethereum's been really nice, guys. Ethereum, I was expecting the breakout of this channel, actually. Let me go on to the 2-hour chart. Now, Ethereum has been trading all week in this descending channel, and I put this descending channel, and I've been posting about it in the Discord. Let me get rid of that now because that's changed. And when we did come down to the bottom, first of all, I shorted near the top of the channel on Sunday. And as we came down to the bottom, I TP'd on that short position. And then I flipped long once we broke the VWAP. So I'm long from about in this area. And TP1 was the top of the channel. We hit the top of the channel. But if we break out of this consolidation, to me, this looks a little bit more bullish, like a bullish corrective move rather than a big dump about to happen. And we did have that possible head and shoulders we were talking about, remember, with the bigger ascending channel. So let me go ahead and let's turn off that channel. We were looking at this ascending channel. We broke it down and we did sweep the second pivot liquidity lows that I talked about. We at least will come sweep the second pivot. We did that over the weekend. So now what we can do is delete that channel. That played out. We were looking for that to play out. There you go. Okay, now on Ethereum, let's turn on the smaller channel that we started developing from Tuesday. And you can see we've been grinding down since Tuesday. Made new lows on Sunday, which is interesting. Sunday lows, remember, weekend lows often get taken out. Just pay attention to that. But we are breaking this. Looks like we're starting to try to break this channel to the upside. Now, just above us, you can see just above us, we do have a new naked daily point of control at 25.89 that is in confluence with the bigger pitchfork band. So that could be, and then it would also be an SFP of Sunday's highs as well. So that could be weekend highs being taken out into local resistance and then seeing a drop from there. If we do our golden pocket pull from the highs of the channel to the lows of the channel and we turn on our golden pocket was This is a new golden pocket, because remember, this golden pocket is pulled from after this low. So you can see just above us is our local resistance area. Golden pocket, naked daily point of control, pitchfork band. And I do think we could see a fake out of this channel up to this area and then break back in and continue to trade and take out our range lows down here around, what is that, 2270, 2271-ish. But yeah, Ethereum's looking pretty strong overall. This does look more corrective in this descending channel. And even if we reject from this golden pocket around 2580 to 2594, I do think that maybe we come down for these range lows, grab those, and then continue to push up on Ethereum. Let's look at the daily time frame on Ethereum real quick. Yeah, money flows curving back up again. You can see we are printing the hidden bull signals on NAMI. Now, NAMI's hidden bull signals are no joke, guys. Anytime I see these NAMI hidden bull signals print, especially on higher time frames, money flows rising back up on NAMI again here. So Ethereum might actually come take out its highs from last Tuesday that we saw. We did front run that key purple box of resistance that we were looking at. Yes, it was because the naked daily point of control was there and our log 618 was there. But I do think Ethereum is still looking pretty good here. If we go on to the hourly chart, money flow looks strong here. Now, NAMI is printing some bear divs locally. Money flow looks like it's not the worst, but it could be printing some bear divs on NAMI. And that's going to be where this local resistance comes into play, between 2580 and 2594. Okay, and let's go on to the 15-minute. Yeah, bear divs developing on the 15-minute on Market Cipher B. I would like to come a little bit higher, though. On those bear divs, I would like to come a little bit higher to touch that naked daily point of control. And then let's also look at, let me see here. Let me make sure my TP is set on that Ethereum. Okay, 20. I am going to take some more profit at around that 2590-ish area. Okay, there we go. And so yeah, Ethereum's just still trending in the upper range, just like Bitcoin. Not a lot happened over the weekend. So we can look at this volume profile, and actually we can pull it all the way from here. And value area high is a little bit above that golden pocket area. Let me adjust this to see just this upper range. Here we go, right in here. Yeah, okay. Point of control of this range is there as well. So that is our local area to reject from, that 2590-ish area. 2589, 2590. But that's about it for Ethereum, guys. Ethereum's still looking pretty good. Let's go on to Solana. Solana is seeing that kind of drop from the top of the pitchfork that I talked about. And I did say we could drop all the way to the bottom of the pitchfork. Well, you can see we front ran that key golden pocket around $157, $156. We are reclaiming the pitchfork band after losing it. We're reclaiming it, and I do think we could push up locally offer. This is local intraday trading here, guys. We do have that new daily level and a new naked daily point of control between 172.7 and 173.3. And so this is our local resistance above us. Also, if we take a golden pocket from Sunday's highs to Sunday's lows, look at our 786. 786 is in there as well. So that would be our local resistance. If we break that, we can look at our larger range. So let's go ahead and pull from the highs of the range to the lows of the range. And yeah, we do have that naked daily point of control right around the 786 there. And that could be, let's see, let's grab our volume profile. Okay, point of control is a little bit lower than that. I don't like how that doesn't line up, but I do think the 786 daily, naked daily point of control between 172.7 and 173.3 is our next area of resistance that I'd be paying attention to very, very locally. Just this guy in here. And be aware, because if Bitcoin really starts to break out, these local resistances will not hold. Also for Ethereum, these local resistances will not hold if we start to break out. Okay, and let's go to Sui. Sui is still just chopping within our range as well. Let's pull this all the way. You can also see on Sui, we did front run our golden pocket just like Solana did, and pretty much front ran the bottom of the pitchfork. Let me go back to Solana real quick. You can see we front ran the bottom of the pitchfork and our golden pocket. Sui did the same thing. Front ran the bottom of our pitchfork and the golden pocket. It is, let me clean this chart up just for a second for you guys, and I could delete this purple box now. We had that play out. We can delete this. Okay, so Sui has that daily that's still up near the value area high of the range. It would also be some nice internal liquidity grabs, but let's pull a Fibonacci from the highs of the range to the lows that we saw yesterday, the lows of the range, and turn on our golden pocket. Okay, golden pocket is right near that daily and value area high. So I would say our local resistance here on Sui is going to be around 406. And actually, let me make sure that's a fresh daily. I might be mixing that up here. Yeah, that's not a fresh daily. Okay, never mind on that, guys. Wait a second. It is a fresh daily. I'm getting myself all messed up here. Yeah, so fresh daily, value area high, golden pocket. Hourly chart. So that's the area to be watching very, very locally. If we are going to continue to range for a bit with all these coins, including Bitcoin, that's an area I would look for a local short position. And a scalp, when I'm saying local, you take it down to the bottom of the range or you take it down to your local golden pocket. But overall, all of these coins look pretty healthy. Looks like some consolidation before further upside. But yeah, that's about it on Sui. Now, if we do come down to this golden pocket, because we front ran it so closely and we would be breaking our pitchfork to the downside by then, I just be careful with that. Yes, of course, the liquidity grab into a golden pocket is always a really nice thing to see. But this golden pocket was printed here before this front run. So now that we have a front run into the golden pocket, next time if we come down there, we might break through it. And if we do break through it and go lower, we'll just look at much lower targets. Like we could look at this prior range here, and we could even look at coming down, in to take those lows of that prior range. I do see a nice little channel here that we could look at. I know this chart's messy, guys. Let me hide that. There we go. Okay, so yeah, new daily. We do have that daily at 394.57. That's going to be at the top of the channel. So if we do stay within this channel, we could reject that. But I do like the resistance that I just pointed out above a little bit better. Money flow still looks very strong here on the hourly chart, crossing up very strongly on both NAMI and Market Cipher B. No bear divs showing on the hourly chart. Everything to me looks like more continuation to the upside. Yeah, 2-hour chart, really nice. Actually, we were seeing bull divs coming down there. That front run of that golden pocket was brutal, but look at that. Bull divs on Market Cipher B, money flow curving to the upside. Bull divs here on NAMI, money flow crossing into the green there. Looks like everything's due for a bit of a pump, to be honest here. Or more rangy, local pump to the highs of the range and then more overall rangy type price action. Okay, on to XRP. So XRP didn't front run the golden pocket. We came down to that golden pocket. You can see that's where we had our support marked out, guys. It was our golden pocket and a naked daily point of control. We did bounce from that naked daily point of control. But overall, in the larger perspective of things, we did lose the large range point of control at 241, and we even flipped it to resistance, telling us that we were going to come down and take the lows down here, local lows. So we did that over the weekend. We are still not above the point of control, which you can also see now is the anchored VWAP. So the point of control and the anchored VWAP together are going to be acting as a pretty tough resistance now. We did reject from our major box of resistance up here. It was our macro log golden pocket. It was the value area high of our range since December, and we had a local liquidity grab into the top of the channel. If I zoom out here, you guys will get a better look at that. Let's go on to the 8-hour chart. So we've been looking at this major descending channel for months now. This has been on the chart for months and came up to the value area high of our macro range, the top of our channel, and I was expecting a rejection up here. Actually shorted 261.6, I think it was 261.6, but I took profit completely at this point of control because I did think that was going to hold. But you're seeing that now that we're back below this point of control, if we cannot flip above it pretty quickly here after bouncing from our golden pocket, then we could see a rotation all the way back down to the value area low around 205, 205.4-ish. We were seeing some 8-hour bull divs on Market Cipher coming down into that golden pocket, though. Look at this. The very nice local bull divs. Lower lows on the price action, higher lows on the momentum waves. Now, your money flow wasn't clear on the 8 hours, but let's zoom into the 4-hour chart, and let's see how the 4-hour chart looked there. Look at that. 4-hour bull divs and hidden bull divs with 2 bull div confirmations on NAMI. Money flow rising to the upside on NAMI. Market Cipher wasn't as clear as NAMI this time, but yes, we were seeing those bull divs coming into that local golden pocket on XRP. And if we start to break the value area high around 259, 260, then XRP is going to push up much higher because we've been in this descending consolidation for quite a while, for 5 months, 6 months almost. So XRP is looking primed to pump, but we could get one more rejection down to the value area low. Yeah, slight bear divs on the daily. Money flows just crossing into the red on the daily on Market Cipher B. Now on NAMI, we're seeing that momentum wave start to bottom out here and money flows curving to the upside. So a bit of mixed signals here, but let's pull a golden pocket from the lows of our range to our highs. Yeah, golden pocket is a bit below the value area low, but this general area is going to be support between 205 and $2. And I would look, if we do come down to this golden pocket, we will sweep all of these internal lows down around 203 into the golden pocket. So that would be kind of nice to see. If we can get back above this point of control relatively quickly here, I think we're going to break up to this next box of resistance between 302 and 311. And possibly much higher. That is about it for XRP. Let's go on to Chainlink here. Okay, oh my gosh, I got to turn off some levels here. Chainlink is looking pretty good. Let me turn off our resistance. So you can see Chainlink did reject on Sunday or on Monday. Yeah, earlier today from our resistance box that we had marked on the chart. This was our last local resistance that we had marked on the chart. It was a daily, it was the back test of our value area low, and it was a naked weekly point of control. Perfect rejection there. As we were coming up into there, actually even on the daily chart, look at those bear divs. Bear divs coming up into our resistance on the daily. Would have given you a short signal right there, but if we zoom in, let's zoom in a bit more. Let's go on to the 4-hour chart. And we were even seeing local bear divs coming in on the chart on the 4-hour. Higher highs here, lower highs here. Now, your money flow signal was a bit confusing there. As far as NAMI goes, printing the bear divs and money flow divergence as well. So money flow was coming out. So NAMI gave a little bit better of a signal on that one as well. But what happened? We dropped from our resistance and back tested that pitchfork band that I talked about. Remember that pitchfork band was holding his resistance in here, broke above it. So we were looking for it to flip to support. So far, it is holding as support. And if it can continue to hold this support, then Chainlink can make its way up to the next major levels, which I would say, okay, let's look at this here. So I'm going to delete this box now because we nailed that box. We rejected perfect from that box. So now we get rid of it. Our next big level above us is a golden pocket. It's a point of control, channel midline, and a weekly. And let me turn on that channel. Okay, it's actually not the channel midline anymore, unless that's a different channel. Let's see here. Okay, you know what I would say is actually our big area of resistance above us is this area up here between 19.9 and 20.6. So that's going to be, and actually it's like 6.5. That's going to be a naked daily point of control. It's the value area high of our major range. We have a swing failure pattern and a 786 up there. So I would say, and then this internal swing failure here of all these local low or local highs, internal highs. But it's also our pitchfork midline. So as far as trading the larger pitchforks go, when we reject from, or if we break a band to the upside, this band was holding as resistance, we flipped above it, we flipped it to support, or we're in the process of trying to flip it to support. If it can hold as support, we can work our way up to the next major pitchfork level, which is the midline around the value area high. So that's what I would be watching for, is the midline and the value area high. We were seeing those 4-hour bull divs coming into this pitchfork band backtest here. Lower lows on the price action, higher lows on the momentum waves. Also, NAMI was printing some bull divs. Now, that was a bit harder because our money flow looked kind of bearish on both indicators. But it did hold as far as actual support. You can see these were our prior highs, flipped to support to continue its way up. So I do think Chainlink looks pretty good here. Let's zoom out onto the daily, because that daily bear div is a bit concerning, and money flow is now just about to cross over into the red. What we could see here on Chainlink is continuation in this grind up to the midline and then the big dump. Maybe one more drive of bear div on the daily. Overall, Chainlink's looking pretty healthy as well. Now, as far as local support levels go, if we lose the upper part of the band, which we're bouncing from over the last day or so, last 2 days, 2 to 3 days, if we start to lose this band, this upper part of the band, then the lower part of the band is where our point of control of that range is. And I would say that's our next level, like 14.3. You could look to find support there if we are just going to continue to grind down to that area. We could see that. And then if we lose that golden pocket value area low around 12.6 to 12.3. That's about it today, guys. Let's check Bitcoin real quick. Let's see how Bitcoin is doing here. Are we going to see... Okay, we're seeing a bit of a rejection from the daily. But I don't think it's going to... I think it's just going to give us a small rejection before we continue to push up. We'll see here, but it looks pretty good. Money flow looking strong here. No bear divs on the 12-minute. I think that Bitcoin could continue here. Let's get rid of that. Okay, guys, that is it for today. Have a good one. I will see you guys tomorrow. If you got anything out of this video, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. Also, I have sponsors and partners. Affiliate links are in the description. BYDFI is offering 15% cash back on your first deposit. They are offering up to $2,100 or $8,100 in futures trading bonuses, depending on how much volume you move. It's a KYC free exchange, and all you need is an email and a password. No VPN required. Link is in the description for this exchange. And then MEXC is offering 10% cash back on your first deposit and up to $20,000 in futures trading bonuses. Links in the description for that as well. Links in the description for NAMI if you guys want to check out NAMI. I do have a 50% off special discount right now, discount code, that's going to be available for a limited time. Have a good one, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.